Most of the opposing coaches, if it's certainly the first time we played against them, are not aware that it is my daughter. In fact, they would probably bet against it because there sometimes is a lot of tension and strife when parents are coaching children, especially in individual sports. But I've made it a point, I went out of my way early on to do my best to not play favoritism, but also to not go to the other end of the spectrum to make things too tough on Tatum. And I think sometimes I might have erred a little bit on that side because I didn't want to take away any of the experience from the other student athletes.
He's like my best bud. On the court, it's kind of funny. I feel like when he comes to coach me when we're playing opposing teams, it's like 2 against 1 because sometimes my opponents figure out that he is my dad before the match because he'll like give me a hug, kiss before I play, say have fun, good luck. And then I don't know, it's kind of fun like getting to go into battle with him even though it's an individual sport and I am on the court by myself. So I do look to him for assurance a lot when I am playing. So I like having him around. We have a really good relationship and it's not so much coach and dad. It's more important to me that he is my dad. So I think that's what helps us have the coach relationship as well.
When I told her she didn't have to play for me and that she obviously could get great offers at most of the schools in the country, she got a little offended and said, "Don't you want me to play for you?" And so, of course, that wasn't the case. I just didn't want her to feel she had to play for Dad. So it didn't take much convincing at all.
He's known me my entire life, so he knows what I'm like and that I like to be close to home. So he was trying to help me reach out and possibly go somewhere else. But I was like, no, I want to stay here. I want to play for my dad. It was kind of funny. I made a video without my dad knowing, like a recruiting video. I just sounded like such a beginner tennis player, as bad as it sounds. And then I sent it to him and I was telling him all of these funny things and he opened the video and it was me. So that was kind of funny. I thought I was a jokester. Since I did online school, I would just hang out with him all day basically, and that meant coming to campus when he had to work. So I've seen it since I was about 12 years old. So I've seen the dirt parking lots and the old buildings. I'm kind of like possessive. I know it sounds really bad, but I've known about it for so long that I'm like, no, this is my school, even though it's not my school, I know that. But I think it's great that the name is getting out there.
She had probably the best perspective of all when I asked her if she wanted to redshirt her freshman year to save her senior year. Basically, I was pointing out to her that we won't have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. Everything else will be the same. And then she said, well, what's one tournament? That's not going to change my experience. And she's right. In the big picture, GCU has provided wonderful experience for all of the student athletes that have been competing here during this transitional time to Division I. So there's one tournament short at the end, but I think it's more than made up for in a lot of other areas and benefits that the kids get here.
Come on, go.
I'm not so much about a big name. I came to Grand Canyon in the beginning. They weren't that well known and I embraced it. I still loved going here. So it was more important for me to get the experience in playing alongside the 5 other seniors that I've grown with throughout the last 3.5 years of college, as opposed to like, wow, cool, I played in a big tournament, but that's just a title, whereas the experience for me was more important.
I was taught young by good mentors that I've had along the way to cherish the time and to not take things for granted. So, I'd like to think that I was very aware all the way through the process of my daughter playing for me that it was a special thing and is a special thing, just as it's special to coach college tennis and try to make a positive impact on any of the student athletes that I coach. Tatum had her work cut out for her being the coach's kid and had the spotlight on her a lot more to make sure that she was behaving and doing things right and being a great student in the classroom. So she definitely had a lot of weight on her shoulders and held her end of the bargain up with flying colors.